Welcome to the Hyperdash podcast where two friends hang out and talk about video games. This week we're going to be talking about all of the crazy stuff that has happened because, oh my god, a lot has happened. But anyways, what game have you been playing this week? What games?
Zero. Work.
Really? Not a single one?
Chess Daily Puzzle, maybe? If you want to count it as a game.
I'd count it as a game, but like, I don't know. Personally, chess... I've missed the daily puzzle a couple of times now. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'll play games Friday to Sunday, but not really during the week.
That's fair. I mean, like, the weekend is just a lot better. I love the weekend. Who doesn't? Personally, it was last week that I got on to record some things. So this week, I think literally all I played was a little bit of the chess daily puzzle and preparing a couple of things in Minecraft for the video version of the podcast. Go and click the link in the description. Shameless self-promotion. But yeah, this podcast will be going on video soon. Did a couple of preparations for that and then played like one Overwatch game because I grabbed the new Overwatch League Genji skin and then I was like, might as well, play a comp game. The last like competitive season, it's like a month long, right? And people, I feel like, I don't know, what I saw on Twitter was kind of like what I experienced. What I experienced was not a great game. I lost. In fact, I haven't won a single comp game yet this season, and I've played like 4. But but I think there's just all of the throwers, all of the all of the people that you don't want in your game, they're coming back on just because they're like, woo, it's the last season, it's a month long, and they just like absolutely just make their SR go down into the dumps because they're like, what the heck, man, the whole system is being reset in a month because of Overwatch 2, so it's just like all of the bad players are coming back on, and yeah, it's kind of annoying, but
Overwatch 2 comp system will be better.
Yeah. Anyways, I mean, in terms of gaming news this week, I think the first thing that happened, and there's so much that happened this week, but Ninja was playing a game of Fortnite, and he was fighting a kid. Yeah, I saw the clip.
He literally rifted.
All that happened was that Ninja shot at him, and he rifted. Rifted away.
Right.
Ninja completely melts down. It was I think it was definitely like I felt for him in that moment because it's like, I don't know, people will judge you from that first clip. It's just like literally nothing happened, man. That happens all the time. People rift away from you. But I can I've had those experiences where like that was the straw that broke the horse's back for him. And I mean, I've definitely had times where I felt like that before, like, a little bit of panic sets in, like, sometimes anger if it's just like a lot of pent up frustration, but you just gotta, remember to calm down, use your feather breathing. But then, like, what happened, like, a couple of days ago? Like, what, 4 days after he left, what happened?
Well, now he's on all platforms. Well, those that matter. Like
those that matter. And, like, yeah, like all the platforms, like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Twitter Live? Was that even a thing? He's on Twitter. I bet he is.
He's on Twitter, yeah.
Wow.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Might be missing one, but
you know what this is all making me think of, right? Do you think it's like a little disingenuous? Because, and that just means I know it's a fancy vocabulary word. It's just like a little not let me actually search that up right now. Disingenuous, not candid or sincere, because here's what happened, right? You see him and it seems like a what's it called, like thinking in the moment type thing, like zero self-control. He just got off because he had to get off, but like, what if it was all planned, right? Because like it was such a quick turnaround time. He was off for like a couple of days and now he's back, right? Like, what was all planned? It doesn't feel like, or maybe here's what happened. He was ready to switch, but he was finding a reason to. Like,
maybe
taking a break when it counts.
Personally, I think the viewing experience on some of the stuff he is streaming is absolute dog water. I think I saw someone showing a clip going around and viewing all his streams. I think on TikTok. Oh, TikTok, that's the other one. Like half the screen is his game and half of it is him. But I think on Instagram, there was no game. It was a camera from behind him of him and his game. So you were watching the game through his monitor. And there was like 1,000 people watching. Who is watching that? That sounds awful.
Dude, that reminds me of like it's like something like a fourth grader would do. That's like, yeah, I want to stream, man, and points it at his PlayStation. Yeah,
right.
Anyways, Overwatch 2 news this week. Lots of stuff dropped. Holy! First of all, the big change that the huge, ginormous change that was. I don't think it was leaked. It was like some developer came out and literally said it. But he's like, the new heroes are going to be locked behind the battle pass. The Overwatch battle pass. I just
but yeah, so they will be free. A part of the free part of the battle pass.
Yes. Lots of people were saying, and here's what my understanding of it is. Is that they will, like, the premium pass users are going to get it faster than the free pass users. But, like, if everyone, levels it up all the way, then they're going to have access to all these heroes. But my understanding is that premium pass users will get it first because of some advantage that they have, like maybe XP or something like that, XP boost or something like that. Lots of people are understandably outraged by this system because here's the deal. When Overwatch released, there was no system like this. You just got to play all the heroes, period. Stuff like that. No, But in a game like Valorant, when they launched, they already had this system in place where you had to unlock each character. But what Overwatch 2 has done is that players already know what it feels like to not have to unlock stuff. And now, once that privilege is taken away from them, they've gotten all mad. But they're understandably mad because this is completely avoidable if the developers don't do it. But what are your thoughts?
Okay, one, I saw a ton of funny memes about this. It was like your game crashing because you duplicated a character you don't have as Echo.
Or it's like, hey man, can you switch to Kikiro because we're getting absolute crapped on? And they're like, nah man, I haven't unlocked her yet. Gotta counter that.
Right. I actually, maybe I have to feel for it, test it out, see the details about it. But from the surface, I think I personally like it. Here is why. Through the beta, we got to see 2 new characters. We saw Soldier and we saw Junker Queen.
Oh my god.
I played the beta whenever I got access to it, maybe a day or two, to play the character. And
I remember your beta was like, you only had the beta for 2 days because you got rolled by Blizzard.
Yeah, it was near the end. But even then, I think I only played for a day or two to try out the new character. And so, while trying out new characters is fun, I want to play the game more. And I need a reason to be on the game other than just grinding comp. So this now new
unlocking hero system.
New objective for me to get. It gives me a reason to play the game, which through the beta I definitely did not feel like I had one.
What I thought, okay, first of all, the beta doesn't even save stats and stuff like that. It was just like, hey people, look at our game that took like 5 years to do. And what I thought you were going to say was that the new heroes were out, and literally all you see is Junker Queens and Sojourns. Like during the beta, that's all people were playing. There's literally a Junker Queen in every single game. That was Junker Queen versus Junker Queen.
Right.
And in fact, that is what's happening in OWL right now. Like I'll turn it on and leave it open because I just want the Overwatch League tokens, and they're playing this new comp that's been called like Jotes or something, where it's Brig, Lucio, Junker Queen, Sojourn, and like another DPS. Like I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but it's like both teams have extremely similar comps. Junker Queen's in every game. There's literally no other tanks being played, and it's practically Sojourn or Ashe, and those are the only two DPS that are being played. And then like the other DPS is like something else, and then support's just like Lucio and Brig, and there's nothing else, or Lucio and Ana, yeah, like some combination of that. Either way, what I thought you were gonna say, and I think that this may be what they may be trying to solve this problem, but I don't think it's a very good solution, is that every time they release a new hero, that's all you see being played. And I thought that you were going to say that I don't want to see that, but now you've opened my mind to another aspect of it where it's like it gives me another reason to grind. But
Right.
in what's it called? In opposition to that, I'm just gonna say like there's also the rest of the battle pass, right? There's like skins and stuff,
Right.
cosmetics, depending on whether or not you get the free or the premium one. Like, you know, like if the heroes weren't in the battle pass, would you, like how would that
Okay.
affect your ability or like
the way I
reason
see
to
it,
grind?
I'm gonna connect it to Fortnite. Think of a new skin in Fortnite like a hero in Overwatch. They're not similar, really. I mean, one is way more valuable than the other. But I see a hero as like a new skin in Fortnite, in variants for that skin as skins for Overwatch. I would never get on Fortnite to grind the battle pass just for variants of a skin. I might get on and grind for a new skin in general.
Okay.
So I feel like without the hero, yeah, I think they did show in June the really cool like tier 100 mythic skins with tons of customization that will be coming out in battle passes. I think they revealed the one for Genji months ago. And so that is something I would grind for, but I definitely don't want to reach October 4th, play for one weekend, and be like, well, time to wait 9 months till the next season for some more content.
Okay. That is a good point. That is a good point. It will give more players, it will incentivize grinding for sure, but I feel like the cosmetics will do enough of that on their own. I think what people are mostly, people and me included, are mostly like worried about is just that they're keeping it behind a sort of paywall. Because I mean, yeah, it'll be free, but like it's just like, hey man, can you swap to Kakiro to counter this? And they can't because they haven't they level, like it's that problem where that's what the community is like laser focused tunnel visioned on. And they also see it as a money grabbing move by Blizzard. And I feel like my personal opinion, that would outweigh it. That would outweigh the benefits of like, I don't know, the joy of grinding it for me, because the way Overwatch is meant to be played, or maybe not the way it's meant to be played, but like, I don't know, our whole lives is just like, we've been given all the heroes to play with. So now that they're taking it away from us, makes it like a little, how do you say it? You know? Like,
well, you could use the same thing with the battle pass. Oh, well, you could have always gotten the skins for free. Maybe not actually a couple, but pretty much almost all the skins. You just had to play the game for tokens and get them. Oh, but now they're going to be behind a premium battle pass. Well, it's like I want content in the game, so if stuff has to be paywalled, I'd rather that than no content for 2 years.
Would you rather have it behind a paywall or not behind a paywall?
Behind a paywall. We've talked about this. It's better for the game so that they can actually provide content and paid devs and resources.
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
It's
I
a
mean,
different story if the hero itself was behind the paywall, but it's
but
not.
they are.
It's unlockable for free.
Oh. Well, yeah. But it is still kind
Just
of
have
pay
to
to
play
win.
the
At least
game.
I think it is pay to win because of like the advantage. I don't know. I don't
Okay,
like this
then
change.
the thing I would say about that, your whole, oh, I can't switch to this character because I don't have them. Think about Valorant. Valorant is different. You can't switch characters mid-game. But say there's 5 main characters that are completely meta. At our level, maybe not at the highest level, at our level, it's okay if you don't always have the meta character. As long as you're playing decent on whoever. And maybe it won't be like that at first, but you know they're going to try and balance the game to a perfect state, which is never possible, but to their best of their ability, to the point where that won't really matter.
Well, I think I've gotten to a point where I could accept it if it happens, but I don't know. The I'm like I'm pretty moderated about this. I could go either way. I'd prefer them to just let everyone have the heroes, but I would be okay with like having to grind out the battle pass. However, from what I've seen, most of the community is in outrage, and I think that at least if they don't address it, this is going to set the tone for like how Overwatch 2 is going to be developed and how long maybe even of a game like it lasts for, like how popular it is. Because what I'm not asking for is that the developers revert the change, although lots of people are asking that they do this, but that they have a real conversation where they're like, we recognize that this is a controversial change and here's why we did it, and they either stick with it or they change it. But if they do nothing, I think that's going to set a very big tone that like this is it. This is the early access, and they have already, kind of chipped away at our trust in them in the past. Just like the whole situation about like, wasn't it like released, or when they first announced it, didn't they say it was a 2020 release date? Am I right?
I don't think they ever put a release date on.
Either way, with all the delays and stuff, all the allegations, the whole crisis that happened, the trust in the devs is very low. And if they don't even say anything about it, then it's going to be very difficult to get that trust back from the community, I think. Because I don't represent the community, but as a whole, I mean,
I don't know.
the loudest ones are screaming about why they don't like it. That's what the loudest ones are saying.
Overwatch hasn't been on my radar in months with no content, so I'll just wait to see what they have to show in less than a month.
Yeah.
And form my opinions then.
That's fair.
Moving on, a little non-gaming topic, although some would say this is gaming. Not really. Gaming IRL. Chess. So, a lot of chess news. What have you heard about this situation between Magnus Carlsen and Hans Niemann?
Okay. Should I also give my take?
Just let me know what you know first.
Okay, I'll let you know what I know. All I know is that Hans Niemann played a game against Magnus Carlsen in like some important chess tournament, like some St. Louis chess tournament.
It's St. Louis tourney, yeah.
And Magnus Carlsen resigned. No, he didn't resign. Yes, I think he resigned at the ending of that game, but he also withdrew from the entire tournament after that. What I understand from the game itself was that Magnus Carlsen was playing okay, but he had a couple of mistakes, except Hans Niemann was very consistent and he kept the pressure up the entire time. That's what that was what I heard about the analysis of the game. I'm like I don't know, like a 600 player though, so I'm just, saying what I've heard.
Right.
And then all I know, what else? He withdrew. He didn't say anything else. He said if he talks, he's gonna get in big trouble. That was his tweet. And Hans Niemann gave an interview. Hikaru called him out for being sus during that interview, and then there's just been a back and forth, big like practical war between like Hans Niemann. Hans Niemann is calling out Hikaru for like what's it called, insinuating that he's cheating. Lots of
Yeah.
insinuations here. No one's actually saying anything. They're just like, hey man, you might have cheated, stuff like that. That's all I know.
It's like the one word no one will say.
Yeah.
No one wants to say cheating. But okay, so I don't know. There's so many sides to this. On one end, during the summer, Hans Niemann played in another tournament, and he actually scored 0 points in that tournament. I think the winner had 10 or something like that. So he didn't even draw a single game. So then it's like, whoa, you really scored 0 points in this tourney, but then you turned around in a few months, you now beat Magnus Carlsen as black, which by the way, at the highest level, if you're playing black, you usually just want to draw. It's really hard to win as black. Magnus Carlsen, by the way, has not lost a classical game, which are really long games, like 2 hours plus, as white, meaning his opponent is black, in over 10 years. This has not occurred. And so here came the guy that scored 0 in a tourney, a few months later, did what no one could do in 10 years. I don't know. But, then there's the whole, everyone's looking at Magnus now, because chess.com has responded. I don't know if you saw.
I think they banned him from chess.com. They banned Hans.
They did. And so he now isn't able to play in an upcoming chess.com big tourney. That's like some global championship something. So they've responded to Hans about that. Hikaru and the whole chess community has made many theories and opinions. The one person who started it all has not said a single. Yeah. So everyone's looking at Magnus now, and who knows if he'll ever say something about it. And, maybe the next tournament comes. Is he going to show up? Right? Or maybe not.
This is all crazy. Here's what I think. I don't want to insinuate anything. I'm not insinuating anything. I'm not going to take any sides here, okay? But like, who cares, okay? Go and roast me in the comments, and I'll pin the nastiest one. I think there's so much suspicion around this. Here's why. The interview that he gave about that game, where he, like, usually they take the player and ask them, hey man, what were you thinking during this? And Hans seemed a little nervous. And I'm just gonna say he seemed a little nervous because the way, like, just me, I don't understand much chess. Like, hey, I know what a wayward queen attack is, but thank you for teaching that to me, by the way. It's a meme that we have between the two of us where I play wayward queen attack like way too often, or like
in positions that you can't
positions that I can't even win, or it's hilarious. There's one night I remember, just to go off topic for a little, there's one night where we were on call together and it was like midnight, and I was just dropping my bullet rating down to 100 because I was trying to get white and then play a successful queen's pawn opening where they didn't play the knight move that would counter it, and just kept on resigning every single time they either played the white move or they played the knight move, or I didn't get white. Anyways, there's suspicion around this because the interview that he gave, he seemed nervous. maybe he just was. I know that if I were like all the spotlight is on me and I just done that, I would be nervous. So maybe we should take that into account. But it really seemed like he didn't know what he was talking about per se. It was just like the interviewer, he almost couldn't keep up with the interviewer. And the interviewer was like, "Hey man, what'd you think about this move?" Or he's like, "I didn't consider that move," or something like that. Either way, he seemed nervous after that. And plus, there is the whole like suspicious thing around him where it's like he's cheated on chess.com twice in the past, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay? We all like,
Yeah,
hey, he did
but
that in the
but
past.
but
And
then
also, like in the previous tournament, he scored 0 points. So it's not that he's a bad player. It's just that we haven't seen this kind of a performance out of him ever before.
right. But then there's also about his previous cheating allegations. One was when he was 12, and I think the other was when he was 16. It was like pretty dumb and reckless.
Yeah, dumb. Like, so I'm just saying, like, we can almost pass that off. But it's like, if you rob a store when you're 12, it still goes on your permanent record. So, wait, does it?
But then
And either way.
it's like, how do you even cheat?
Yes, I was just going to say, the way that I saw the security, the way that they did that, I was like, they're waving these batons all over your body. They're checking every single, like,
Right.
The security is very tight. And that's why I think it's very suspicious. And I think the best thing to do in this situation is that they do a full investigation, completely thorough, the most thorough investigation we've ever seen in chess history, because this is probably the biggest thing, like, the biggest potential
drama, scandal.
Yeah, scandal that's ever happened. But here's the thing. Don't go and roast me and saying that I'm taking sides, because I'm saying they should do an investigation, and if nothing comes up, then essentially we should just confirm that Hans did not cheat during that. He won it fair and square, and then we just let him off the hook, and we respect him for the big move that he did. But like, so if you're on Hans's side, you're like, okay, then do the investigation. Nothing will come up. Sure, nothing comes up, right? Or something does come up. And then that will be quite the episode of the Hyperdash podcast. I'm just kidding. But the best thing to do, the most like middle ground approach, in my opinion, is to just conduct an extremely thorough investigation. Although there doesn't seem to be much information out there. So who knows? But
you want to know the funny thing?
What?
We don't even know if Magnus's tweet was referring to Hans, was referring to him about cheating.
Yeah.
It could be something else completely different going on in the tournament.
What if this is what happened? He was just embarrassed. He tweeted that out and we misunderstood. He was just embarrassed. He didn't even think that he was cheating. He was just embarrassed. And then like the whole chess community was like, whoa, 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 whoa. He's insinuating that he's cheating. They put words in Magnus Carlsen's mouth, and then it started this back and forth. When in reality, Magnus Carlsen just withdrew because he was embarrassed or something. But
I do have one theory.
But the theory that shoots that down is that Magnus Carlsen has been beaten by lower rated players and reacted much better than he did in this situation.
Right. One thing I would say, I came up with this theory on my own, probably wrong, but it does kind of go along with your idea of he withdrew for personal reasons, not because of other people's actions. So I think there's many recordings of him saying that you probably know this, he's not defending his world champion title this year. Or it might be played next year. And he's gone on record to say the only thing he really cares about these days is reaching 2,900. A rating no one has ever reached before.
Mm.
And so my theory is, because he lost to someone such lower rated, he would lose so many rating points for that loss. And if he withdrew that early in the tournament, he actually...
since he wouldn't get a penalty?
Since he played less than half of the tournament, his games and scores are wiped and do not affect his ELO, or rating, whatever you want to call it. So...
Could be.
While that would be a pretty petty thing to do, it could be possible. Probably
Could
not,
he
though.
have earned that rating back just by winning all of his other games during that tourney?
Well, it's super unlikely for him to win all his other games.
Or okay, sorry, win or draw. Because I always think of chess as like winning or losing, and I always forget that lots of them are draws in the professional world.
Though I think the last 2 rounds of the St. Louis tourney, there's 4 games played each round. I think the past 2 rounds, all 8 games have been draws. Bless you.
Thank you.
I think all 8 games have been draws.
Oh.
There's
Do you
been
lose?
no losses.
Is your I know on chess.com sometimes you actually lose points for drawing. Is that true in the competition as well?
Depending on the rating.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Oh, but not maybe
Yeah.
like 0.01 rating point, but not as much as you do on chess.com.
Hmm. What's Magnus Carlsen's rating right now?
Like 2850.
2850? And he wants to
Yes.
reach 2900.
But the thing is, he could win a whole tournament and maybe get a few points.
Oh, dang.
Like, it is such a struggle because everyone is lower rated than him. He's the #1 rated player. So how do you keep
How do you get to
getting higher rated?
2900? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's Stockfish at now these days?
Oh, I think the latest one's like 2800. Sorry, 3800.
Yeah, it says like rating above 3500. Dang, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think still under 4000, but I don't even know how you measure that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it does seem kind of petty, but I guess that could be true. I just don't know why he wouldn't say anything after that. If that were true, if your theory were true, why would he just not?
Well, because it's such a petty and, as you
true.
said earlier, embarrassing thing to do.
But like once again, he has been beaten in the past by lower ELO players and, shook their hands and just took the L with honor, I suppose, if you want to go down that route.
Maybe he didn't care as much about the rating back then as he does now.
Oh, true.
Especially if he doesn't have the world champion title going for him.
True.
At least he won't soon.
Do you think that there's enough sus stuff going on that there deserves a full investigation? Sorry, I'll let you talk.
A full investigation, it could occur, and then one of 2 things would happen. Either nothing would come up, in which case everyone now turns to Magnus as like, what the heck? But of course he could easily say like, oh, I was never even talking about Hans, so I don't know. It seems kind of pointless because I don't know how you would even prove Hans was cheating if that is what's the case.
True. No, I feel like there's no way to prove that he wasn't cheating. They would just not find anything. I think if they found evidence of cheating, then they'd be like, I guess he cheated, right? But I think...
Yeah, but how do you find evidence?
You dig something up, you find out that there has been like an electronic device hidden somewhere or...
But they're all scanned, so it goes back to how would he even cheat?
True. I'm saying that like if actual evidence comes up, then they might be able to like form an opinion, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
if
like,
actual stuff came up.
But I'm saying that's why they should conduct an investigation. Here's why. You can shut the entire community up and just move on to the next thing. They say we did not find anything, move on. Or we did find anything, or we did find something. Here's what it is, blah blah blah. Here's our statement, and we can there will be outrage, but people will move on. But right now we're in a spot where everyone's unsure because there's not enough information. If you get a public statement, even if it's just we didn't find anything, we can move on, and the pressure will be after that, the pressure will all be on Magnus to say, what the heck happened? Why did you do that? But it's just this step, I feel like, would accelerate it so that we do not have that much like confusion like we do now, right?
Right. Well, who knows? Maybe it's another topic that will come up if more is developed. But I think we only have a few things left to wrap up with.
Well, there's been some sad news in the United Kingdom because Queen Elizabeth II passed away on Friday. And nope, Thursday. And
wait, it was Thursday? I thought it was Friday.
Was it Thursday? I just remember it was a math class.
I thought it was yesterday.
Was it yesterday? It was math class. Oh shoot, it might have been yesterday. I just remember I was in math class when it happened. When I heard about it. But
I was in apes.
I know that she was very highly respected and loved. And she's just been a great figure, you know? Like, I don't really keep up with this stuff, but you know.
I think I heard one of the kids at my school say something similar to she didn't have it's kind of like a celebrity dying, that she was more of an icon than a powerhouse.
Yeah, exactly. That is usually how the king and queen of England work. They but still, like, they're very highly respected people, and what I'm seeing that's very inappropriate, in my opinion, are the memes that are celebrating her death or pretending that it is funny in some way. And I don't get why.
Right.
I think I saw a thread listing all of the bad things that she has done, or like all of the things that she has let happen, because like she let this happen and she had the power to do something about it or something like that. But first of all, how long have you had that list ready? Second of all, I mean, I don't know, like, there are people with power who have done a lot worse things. I don't know why you're trying to spin, her death in a dark way. That's all I have to say about that. Like, thoughts? I mean, it's just inappropriate because there's people trying to mourn. Like, people in the UK who, maybe were more closer to her are actually trying to mourn. Just be quiet for a little and don't disturb them. Right? Like, be respectful. If you have these concerns, first of all, where were you when she was alive and you had these concerns? You could actually voice them and something could have changed, right? Now she's dead and all of a sudden now that's when you talk? Why didn't you talk when these things were actually, like, when something could have been done to change them, when they're actually timely, right? Where were you? Like, why is this coming up now? Sorry. I got a little, I just don't understand, like, where were you when this actually mattered? Now you're just bringing it up, like my girlfriend bringing up our argument from a month ago. Just kidding, I don't have a girlfriend.
Okay. I don't know. Kind of weird. And then our last thing, said you wanted to.
Oh yeah, remember those pistachios that we ate while the last time we hung out? We were watching Demon Slayer. Well, I kept them around, and they're just sitting in my mini fridge, and I didn't eat them until literally like a week or two ago. Yeah. And they actually didn't taste bad. They tasted like they were a couple of months old, which they were, but it was just a little funny tidbit. Nice. But I think that'll be it from us, and I was very glad to be able to process all of this news in depth because, Oh my goodness, so much happened. But hopefully we'll be back next week talking about, hey, you know, maybe more developments, but we'll have a real topic to talk about next week if nothing else crazy happens. And do you have any socials you want to shout out?
I'm good as always.
All right. Well, anyways, why don't you tell them about our new YouTube? Well, why am I asking you to tell them? You can go and check out the Hyperdash YouTube channel. We are now going video. The podcast is going on video. Jeez. And so go check that out. And also, as always, my YouTube and my Twitch are down in the description. I stream occasionally. Not really anymore. Maybe. Anyways, thank you for listening. And as always, like the strawberries, don't wear the windskin.